is Arlene Westen, and I reside in Alberta, Canada. I wanted to be a part of the Mystery Box Art Challenge because I felt like I was at a bit of a stalemate at this particular time in my career. I, like so many other people, have been affected in all aspects of my life and my livelihood by COVID-19. And I needed to find a way to connect with the broader community and feel like I was doing something somewhat worthwhile while being in isolation. I've come to pick up one of those boxes too.
Oh, great.
I'm filming you as you're filming everything else.
Can I get your name, please?
I'm Arlene.
Okay, there we are.
I've got a box. So it's in my car, and we're heading home, and I'm going to open it there. Woohoo!
Hello, this is the contents that's in the box separated as per color. Right? Kind of interesting, hey?
So I'm here with my mystery box. I picked it up today, and I'm part of a mystery box challenge through the Multicultural Heritage Centre in Stony Plain. So 10 artists have been selected to do this challenge. We all got a box, and we all have 8 weeks to create something with the contents of the box, and perhaps even using part of the box. So let's see what's in it. Okay. All right. We've got egg carton thingies, little beads and some metallic stampy things, colors, paint swatches, stickers, playing card, all kinds of weird things, different kinds of paper. So I'm going to have to take these home and figure out what I'm going to do with them. Not sure about that. A little bracelet, okay. Some pencils, a block of wood, a tiny block of wood, some fabric, piece of canvas, one little lollipop-y thing, I don't know what that is. Just some plain paper. What else is in here? Ooh, feathers, stickers. There's a lot of stuff in here to use. This is going to be interesting because we are supposed to try to use every piece of what's in here into an artwork.
And so my first step was to take a look at all of these materials and lay them out and create some small visual collages with them to see if I could find similarities in texture or color or how they spoke to me. I did take some pictures and photographs, again, to examine them.
I wanted to be involved in the Mystery Box Art Challenge because it sounded like something fun and new. It was a little bit daunting at first when I first brought the box home, but within a few days I kind of came up with some ideas, and I knew right away that I had to have a mannequin, and that's how it all started. I took the materials from the box and I sorted them into different groups, such as fabric materials, embellishments, and paper.
This is Lynn checking in for my week 1 progress report on my mystery art box project. So what have I been doing? Mostly a lot of thinking, trying to figure out what I can do with all of my cool art box things to make them into something that as a poet represents something. Still thinking about it. The artistic process sometimes is a whole lot of nothing followed by a whole lot of something.
I decided I wanted to work early with the concept of the theme of the circus. I liked the way that the disparate materials came together, just like the diverse entertainment that you would find underneath the big top.
My name is Tiana, and this is my submission for the Mystery Box Art Challenge. Now, over the boat for the past year, I've been facing some anxiety, and I had a bit of a lack of confidence. And so I turned to this book by Lauren Martin called The Book of Moods. And in the book, she describes ways that she turned to that made her feel good. And one of the things she enjoyed doing was putting on a little bit of perfume. And for me, my comfort became my favorite tube of lipstick. And so that's why my work is inspired by a tube of lipstick. Because my project changed so much from like some sort of collage to a book and stuff. And I realized in the end that everything I kept turning back to was my lipstick. And I realized how important it was to me and how it made me feel good. And even when my family and I went out, and I would wear it under my mask because I knew it was there, even if no one could see it, and I knew it made me feel good. So my theme for my work is confidence, and I hope you enjoy my first piece.
Hello, my name is Barbara Mitchell. Here I am with my finished Mystery Box Challenge. I must say I had true enjoyment doing this piece. I did run into a couple moments of sheer terror, thinking at certain points, now what exactly am I going to do? But once I figured out that I would do the lady's face, then it was just a matter of covering the box, and then I glued it onto a board. I think what was really nice was being in touch through Instagram with some of the other potentials that were working towards their finished product. And it was nice to see how we were all progressing and how we all started with these same ingredients. And so that was kind of fun. I'm also relieved it's over, because something like this, as much as you love it, it's always in the background. And you're always thinking, what should I add? Do I need to add more? Have I used everything? And I must have gone through all my items repeatedly to make sure I'd used a little piece of everything. So yes, I'm calling her Mystery Lady. And thank you so much for allowing me to be in this challenge.
My name is Keeley, Sato, and this is my works for Stony Plain Multicultural Heritage Centre's first ever Mystery Art Box Challenge. This has been such a fun concept to work with because we were given a shoebox filled with mystery contents and we could literally create whatever we wanted to. Now let me introduce you to the Sato house. A great part of this challenge was that my vision kept changing throughout the entire process. I started with this vision of a pop-up fairy house, and now I just ended up with the front door. Now it's made out of the box itself that we got, and I've transitioned it using wood and acrylic paint, and this here was actually in the mystery box, and it's a fabric swatch. In addition to the pieces that were in the box, I also found lost items throughout my studio and used them, including this old clay tree trunk here. I made it out of air dry clay and painted it with acrylic paints. I love working with bright colored acrylics, so I knew I had to incorporate that into this piece of work. So let's open up the door, shall we?
I'm an advocate at using art as a beneficial reward for mental health. I use it to bring joy to myself especially, but also to anyone who is willing to take a look. By using bold and bright colors, I am able to create captivating works that grab an audience's attention. Art for me cannot be planned. I have learned that I succeed best when I trust my intuition and have a go with the flow attitude. I stay true to my fantasy-like style to create a magical escape full of texture from mystery contents and leftover resin scraps. I wanted to be involved with the Mystery Box Art Challenge because it was my first really challenge to prove to myself that I'm capable and to create a masterpiece out of a simple box and a bunch of mystery materials. Using the mystery materials was a little bit of a challenge, but I was also able to tone into my creative senses and create such a wonderful interactive piece. I feel like right now everybody should try some form of art, whether it be art, painting, dance, anything that brings you joy, especially through these hard COVID times.
My name is Lynn Gale, and I live in Spruce Grove. I was intrigued by the Mystery Box Art Challenge for a number of reasons. One being that I'm a poet, not an artist, and I thought it would be a really fun way to step outside my boundaries and do something a little bit different. When I first opened up the art box, I was kind of like, oh, cool, this is awesome. My second thought was, what the heck was I thinking? I'm a poet, not an artist. So once I got over myself and decided that I was going to go ahead with the project, I thought and overthought and thought some more for several days, trying to come up with a story that I wanted to tell. When I write poetry, it is based on stories and feelings, and I wanted the story to build itself in my subconscious before I put it onto paper, as it were. What I've ended up with is poetry unmasked, tucked together with synchronicity unraveled. This is a COVID journey, 21 panels that show different parts of what has been experienced over the past year and a bit. COVID has really put a lot of restraints on a lot of us, and I really welcomed the creative freedom to be able to try to put into images what I usually just try to put into words. There's a thread that ties all of these together, the thread of what we lost compared to what we found. And I think that what we found during this time is fundamentally more important than any other realization we may have had in recent times. I hope you enjoy the exhibit, and thank you.
Hello, my name is Tara Jones from Tara Jones Creations. This is my art piece called Me, as in moi. I created this for the Multicultural Centre in Stony Plain Mystery Box Challenge. The reason why I chose to do it this way is because I feel we struggle too much with body image. I am not a small woman. I am proud of myself, but it's taken a lot for me to get to this point. Creating a back silhouette of my body is very tough. It's out of my comfort zone. I believe that all bodies are beautiful, no matter what the size. And the reason why I chose to do this is because I wanted to show vulnerability. Every color, and as the layers go, represents a layer of my personality. I really hope you enjoy.
Sometimes throughout my life, people have had issues with how I've dressed, how I've worn my makeup, so basically how I've chosen to express myself. And it's definitely made me face certain challenges and lower self-esteem. And that's what this project is about. It's about embracing myself for who I am This project is about embracing my love for creativity through art and fashion and makeup. I really enjoyed being one of the 9 artists involved in this art challenge, and I hope that some people find some inspiration from it, and I hope that it helps them find a little more self-acceptance and love.
My name is Jennifer Ray Forsythe, and I'm an Edmonton-based artist. For my Mystery Box Challenge, I created a flower box. I wanted to retain the box for the project, so I went to a secondhand store and bought a used jewelry box, which I refurbished, and I added legs using the cardboard from the mystery box. And with the remainder of the materials, I crafted flowers. I have spent the past few months researching flowers and their meanings, so I really wanted to use the meanings of the flowers to create a sense of hope. Some of the flowers mean rebirth, calm, peace, hope, new beginnings, happiness, calm. And then there's some flowers that are not real flowers, but are imaginary flowers created with some of the more whimsical pieces.
My name is Norma Calicott, and I'm an artist residing in Sherwood Park. I was intrigued to take part in the Mystery Box Art Challenge, as I have challenged myself in my art practice all during COVID. I have created this work, Dreams of Blue. It was a bit hard to start as I laid out the materials. Initially, nothing spoke to me. I was experimenting with the cyanotype process, and I thought I could try to do a cyanotype print on the provided square canvas. My thoughts were to do vignettes of dreams I was having. Dreams of parties, happy times, my foggy brain, dreams of flying away, and a raven, which I often use in my art, as ravens teach us how to hear messages from the other world. I created my own tiny box. in the same method as the original box, which holds confetti and a party ticket. I made cyanotype prints of many of the elements, including the buttons. I used the actual buttons as well, as they symbolize holding life together. COVID heavily influenced this work with the images, dreams, and quotes. I hope you like it.
When this box of materials arrived and I opened it up to discover elastic bands and colored pencil crayons and glitter bits and feathers and buttons and beads and all sorts of items that are normally relegated to the world of children's art making materials, I had to relinquish all ideas of making art with a capital A. I had to really just challenge myself to let myself play. So that was really freeing for me, and I just started discovering the materials and what they were capable of and what the images brought to mind. And it was of happier times, of times where I had spent at the circus, and I've been lucky enough to have been a spectator as well as have been behind the scenes. And so that's where I began. I wanted to try to use up as many of the materials that were provided to me, and the criteria for me was also that this be a flexible and somewhat portable art piece. So I decided to work in the format of a book, and I wanted to make a scroll book. And so that's what I began with.
Today I made up a batch of flower paste glue. I'm doing paper mache and tore up some of the newspaper that came with my kit, and I'm creating tiny little juggling pins, and that's from the beads that they supplied me with. I also dyed some background fabric, so I've got some silk. Silk is going to be my overlay on the piece of fabric that I dyed. So I'm creating a scroll book that can be viewed from both sides. It's a piece of artwork that can be handled and carried. Some of the three-dimensional objects I'm using today are the feathers. I've drawn out some stallions, and they are going to be photo transferred onto the outside. So that's kind of the introduction when you open up the book, and see what it unveils. I've also done some direct inkjet printing on some silk fabric using some of the elements that came with my mystery box. Altogether, I've used quite a few of the materials that have come with my box, so I've been checking them off as I go to see how many of them I can use. Hey, I've also cut out a lot of colored little bits from some of the paint swatches they provided with me. So these are going to be my flags, and some elements are going to be added to paper, some to fabric, and some to both. And I've done a few samples to see what the overlays look like. I've cut out the components of my tent from the popcorn box and reconstructed it with the tape that they provided and glue sticks. And I've got this elastic. This elastic band is going to be the tightrope. We've got kind of a three-ring circus going on, 3 different panels.
think creativity has more to do with deliberate, focused attention and just showing up, and less to do with the materials. It's about hypothesizing and experimenting and observing and finding solutions. So in that way, I found this activity, being part of this challenge, came at a really good time for me, and I was really happy that I was able to participate in it.